the Bobcats Sports Network from Learfield, this is Cat Chat with head football coach Brent Vigen. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official home of Cat Chat, every Wednesday night at 6:30. Now, here's your host, the voice of the Bobcats, Keaton Gillogly.
Hello, 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 and welcome live to Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, beautiful day to be a Bobcat. Bluebird Day in Bozeman today, and we get to talk about Montana State football, which is sitting at 3-0 in Big Sky play, coming out of the bye week. Yes. All right, first and foremost, we're sounding good in the house. Everybody hears us okay? All right, I got all thumbs up, just the way we like it. Rocky Lencioni and Carson Williams will be our player guests today, so we'll talk to those guys a little bit later. But first, we say hello to Head Coach Brent Vigen. Coach, how we doing? How we feeling?
Doing well, yeah. It's the bye week's behind us. It was a good week for us, but we want to do this to coach and play football, you know. And so getting back to a game week, getting back to an opponent, you can kind of see the hunger in everybody's eyes, and everybody's got a bounce in their step this week. So excited to get out to California and play again. Yeah,
I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. Have you ever found, I mean, you've been coaching a long time, do some guys come out of the bye week not with a skip in their step and kind of that extra bounce?
Well, we've been fortunate. Our bye weeks have sat in the middle. We've been fighting for things. I'd imagine there's some scenarios where what's on the other side of the bye week doesn't look too promising based on where you're at. But we're positioned well, I guess, at this point. I think we recognize that we got a chance to continue to get better. And I think we got a group that really, loves playing the game, and likes, what we've been doing and wants to do it better and better each week. So, yeah, I don't know. I've been part of a team like that, but I'm sure it happens out there.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear that, and it's good to hear that joy you're talking about, because this thing, I mean, it's hard. These kids are getting up early in the morning, practicing in the cold, going to practice, going to class, coming back for film, and you've kind of talked about it in your recruiting philosophy, guys who enjoy the game, and it does seem like that turns up in moments like these.
Yeah, it's a grind, can be, but I think you got to obviously take a step back and say why are we doing this? Why do we put all this work in? This work that started, back in January. We're right in the midst of seeing how that pays off, so to speak. And like I said before, I think we recognize that we're continuing to get better, but there's more out there for us. So, yeah, I think our guys recognize that they want more, and they're certainly not satisfied with where we're at this point.
Before we dive too deeply into football, did you get into anything non-football related? I don't know, you read a book, watch a movie? I don't know, did you do anything non-football related during the bye week to reset it all?
Not really, no. No, I haven't had a day like that on a Saturday. It was wall-to-wall football.
Yeah.
And games all over the place that were exciting. So that was what a football coach does on an off day, is watch more football.
Yeah, you preach to the choir. I did the exact same thing on Saturday. Was there anything that maybe stood out just watching that many games? I know for me it's always nice, kind of resets my eyes a little bit to see something other than what we watch on a daily basis. So did you notice anything, any top-line trends on Saturday?
Well, I think what becomes apparent is we're all striving to do what I've been talking about, continue to improve. And there's plenty of teams out there that seem to be riding roller coasters. And that's what we want to avoid. We want to be trending upward. We want to be ascending. And, it's apparent that there's several programs that aren't doing that. And by paying a little closer attention on Saturday, you kind of see it with your own eyes. And some teams escape, but it doesn't look exactly how they're supposed to. And that's probably fine because it's the end result. And then there's some upsets that – it probably shouldn't happen. And why you ask yourself, why does that happen? It's it's not valuing opportunity, it's overlooking an opponent, whatever. So I think that's probably the biggest thing. As you watch that day and you really get to take it all in, is college football is very unpredictable, and you're dealing with young people and trying to keep them on edge, and again, just valuing the opportunity because there's only so few. There's only so many of them. That's what we got to continue to do. As a football program and this particular team.
Yeah, you've used that line of not wanting to ride the wave. We've heard that from you a couple of times. How do you do that? It sounds like you're trying to cultivate that consistency. Is that something you can recruit? Is that something you can teach? Or is that just something that the guys get from having a coach who's the same day in and day out?
Well, consistency, I think, in how I do things, how our coaches do things. You want to impress that upon the players, and valuing not only the Saturdays, but valuing the Mondays, the Tuesdays, the Wednesdays, the Thursdays, and what can be gained in those particular days, and continuing to point it out, continuing to remind the guys, and also I think pointing out that it's not always going to be perfect, and the process of every week is one that is a build, and it's got to be this reset every week, and you're a program that relies upon getting too high for certain opponents. You're not going to treat every opponent the same. You're naturally going to have the ups and downs, and we've worked really hard to appreciate every opportunity, respect every opponent that's out there, and try to show up with a better version of ourselves every week. So I think it's talking about but it's not just in the fall thing. I think it's the consistent approach that Coach Herron demands in the off season. And I think our guys have really embraced consistency and the right approach. And ideally it's living out through the course of this season.
Yeah, that also kind of ties into another theme that we've heard from you throughout the year, which is, the coachability of these guys, which I think is so impressive. And I think I've heard maybe top-line national stuff about maybe this generation doesn't want to be coached, or it's a little bit different, and it's different. But it does sound like you have a group right now that truly wants to be coached. Is that something you recruited, or is that something you can kind of teach with a group like this?
Well, I think the very competitive, the high achiever, the guy that wants to become his best wants to be coached.
Yeah.
Now you have to feed them with information that they appreciate and they respect. They generally, this generation wants to know why, not just what.
Yeah.
So that why better make sense to them. So I think our coaches understanding our players, and how to coach them, how to communicate with them, and be willing to communicate with it is all part of it. But I think, you try to find that out in recruiting. I think if a high school coach that you're in contact with is going to throw up some red flags about a coachability, I think you just walk away. And not that we even come across that a whole lot, but I think that's a starting point. But then hopefully through our relationships that we develop, we can get a sense for what that's going to look like. And we try to be the same people in recruiting that we will be when they get here. We make a big deal about just communicating and being fair and honest and all that in the recruiting process. So that's not a surprise when that's what they get when they get here. So I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it, and I think it's all this stuff we're talking about. You got to constantly work at. It's one thing to work at the physical component and all that, but there's so much more to developing young men and getting the best out of them.
Yeah, so, it does feel like when you're coaching, you've been doing this a long time, when you get to walk into a building like this where you feel like your players want to learn, they want to be there, that's got to be a real joy for you right now at this point.
Yeah, you want a hungry team, again, one that I don't know. There's levels of satisfaction, I suppose, as you go, but they understand there's more out there for them. And, you got to hire coaches that will allow that to be fostered at the same time. And that's, something that, I've had to do quite a bit is hire coaches. And that's fine. And, I think every chance we get to hire a new coach, there's new opportunity. And you want guys that understand how we do things, but they can be their own person too. But the big thing is bringing the best out of their players. And, I think we have a staff that's dedicated to that. And I think for the most part, a group of players that really appreciates the relationships and the coaching they get along the way.
Yeah, well, that leads me to a name that's continually popped up in Trenton Green, the cornerbacks coach, now first year here. We talked to Brian Shepard for the podcast, which is out now. He talked about Coach Green as well. They had some ties at Syracuse, but it does feel like Coach Green, who's coaching the cornerbacks, his name has continued to come up from all of these players. What's he brought to the coaching room?
Well, a very steady approach, very detailed young coach. He's had a chance to really learn, how to do it. And then he had a chance to go to Missouri Southern last year and take it on his own. And, that was big for me because he could articulate what that meant to him as far as his experience. Because it's one thing to learn and be around really good coaches, but not have the opportunity to really, be the one in charge of that room or have those hard conversations, and he had to have those last year. So he's done a really, really good job with a group that he's been able to mold for the most part. I think Shep had done a really good job with the corners, but hadn't worked with this group a lot. He worked with the Cardi, but these young guys were kind of got bits and pieces, so it was almost all new, and there was a good, it was a good point to make that transition for Shep and to bring Trent in, and a little bit different approach. He's his own man, but very detailed. I think cares about those guys at the same time, and I think he's it's the proof is in the pudding. We've played really well at that position considering our inexperience, and I think that group has a chance to continue to get better. Yeah, and obviously we're going to be talking some cornerback stuff with Carson Williams here in just a little bit. But first we are going to take a break. We'll dive a little bit into that Idaho State game. There's a couple topics to get out of that, plus a couple of former Bobcats had some big Sundays and Mondays as well. But first, we're taking a break. We're live from Buffalo Wild Wings. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Debilitating joint pain can keep you from doing the things you love most. At Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, we take a holistic approach to your orthopedic surgery, combining state-of-the-art orthopedic capabilities with whole health optimization. We'll work with you to identify and address any medical issues prior to your surgery. Our optimized health approach ensures your surgery is just the beginning of a new, pain-free life. Explore more at bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
Hey, Bobcat fans. Want to make a real difference in the lives of Montana State student-athletes? The Bobcat Collective is your chance to do just that. By joining as a member or becoming a business partner, you're directly supporting our athletes through NIL opportunities, helping them succeed both on and off the field. Whether you're an individual looking to become a member or a business ready to partner with us, every contribution empowers our Bobcats to reach their full potential. Visit BobcatCollective.com to learn more and sign up today. Together, we can elevate our athletes and the entire Bobcat community. Go Cats, go!
Montana holds some of the greatest hunting in the country, and much of that occurs on private land. Access to private land is a key part of hunting and wildlife management, but that access is at risk with every gate left open, piece of litter left behind, or torn up ag field from someone driving where they weren't allowed. As hunters and guests in Montana, we must do better. Get familiar with Montana's block management program and follow the rules for every block management area you hunt, because we either do better or we'll lose access. It's that simple. It's up to us. Respect access, protect the hunt.
At Manhattan Plumbing and Heating, we are committed to being your trusted source for all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs in Gallatin County. Proudly locally owned and operated, our skilled team has been providing exceptional service and expertise for over 2 decades. Whether service or new construction, we provide quality solutions for your home or business. If you need urgent plumbing repairs, efficient heating or cooling solutions, Manhattan Plumbing and Heating is here to help. Call us today at 406-284-4133 to learn why we are the area's most trusted and reliable choice. And go Cats!
With friendly customer service and an outstanding location near Montana State University and the base of the Bridger Mountain Range, Country Inn & Suites by Radisson is the perfect place to begin your Bozeman adventure. Country Inn & Suites offers a hot and delicious Be Our Guest breakfast buffet each morning. Free Wi-Fi is available throughout the property, and we have a business center and meeting rooms. Our indoor pool and hot tub is a great way to relax after a day of fun, and the on-site fitness center will keep your workout goals on track. We have spacious king and double queen suites with a full-size sleeper sofa available, and every room in Country Inn & Suites is smoke-free. Reserve your room today.
The air was thick with desire as he said those 23 magic words every woman longs to hear. Buffalo Wild Wings Go will give you 10 free boneless wings when you spend $15 or more and use promo code GOBONELESS. Say it again, she begged. He indulged. Buffalo Wild Wings Go will give... Okay, I need a break. This novel's got me sweating and hungry. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
At participating locations for a limited time only when you order in the BWW web or app.
We are back live at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat. Here at Buffalo Wild Wings, this is home to Cat Chat, which is the official radio show of Head Coach Brent Vigen and Bobcat Athletics, which you can enjoy over wings and beer every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. only at Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, Coach, let's talk a little bit of football from this Idaho State game. Yes, it was 2 weeks ago, so I don't want to dive too deep into some of the details, but I think there's some top-line stuff. And first and foremost, of course, we got to talk a little Adam Jones, 176 yards. Great breakout game for him. Yeah, absolutely. I know we were all kind of sitting and waiting for it, but that had to be a real monkey off the back to see him put up one of those big explosive outings like that. Yeah, Adam was a beneficiary of a lot of opportunities to get to the second level, and he made the most of it. Our run game efficiency was extremely high throughout the game. The opportunities that he got were all over the place, and I think it's a credit to the offensive line, credit to Adam too, being able to see it right and get into the secondary, and then
make the most of those chances. And Julius had some good chances early in the first half. Colson in the second half. Justin had some good runs. So from a running perspective, on a day when we need to run the football, we certainly got that done.
Yeah. The other thing we got to see in this game was a bunch of career firsts. So for Justin Lamson, career high 4 passing touchdowns. For Julius Davis, his first career receiving touchdown. For Rocky Lencioni, his first touchdown at Bobcat Stadium. And for Dane Steele, his first career touchdown as well. Plus Taden Gray, Brock Steele, their first career interceptions. Carson Williams, his first career forced fumble. But just in general, I always think those milestones, those firsts, are so special for these guys because they put so much work in. But really cool to see some of those guys get their career firsts in that game against Idaho State.
Yeah, we still got a young team, so those firsts are still out in front of us. I know those young guys that you mentioned, they're halfway into this season. A bunch of redshirt freshmen right now that are really making an impact. Getting Julius on the other end, he's our 7th-year guy. His first receiving touchdown was good as well because he's very versatile. So, yeah, it was a game that we got out to the type of lead we wanted to control, but they certainly answered back, and I really appreciated how our guys finished that second quarter, both on offense and defense, to open up a 20-point lead. And a situation, it was raining pretty hard that second quarter, and that didn't affect us one bit.
Yeah, and then in the second half, a shutout against a very good offensive team in Idaho State. We're seeing some moving parts as well. I think that watching the way the secondary is continuing to develop has been so fascinating. We talked a little bit about Bryant Meredith, but it does seem like we're seeing him get a few chances at the nickel spot as well. Just how difficult is it for a guy to come in his first year and play in 2 positions like that?
Well, I think time makes it easier. Experience makes it happen a little bit more readily. I know just, he's made the most of getting out on that field. And that happened, as Taki went down in that first game a little bit more than we maybe thought it would. I think it was a easing in process that we were still trying to figure out where both he and JJ fit best. Someone had to be that backup nickel. Someone had to be that backup free, and they ended up splitting free for the better part of the first half of the season. And now that we're continuing to move on, Taki's return is on the horizon. We still want to back up Tate, so I think getting Bryant more reps there I think is important. Elevating Tim Thomas now to provide depth has been a key piece. JJ continuing to improve. He missed the NAU game, but he was back. I know we feel way different about the way that safety combination looks now than we did back in August. I know that there was a lot of question marks there, but guys that have done really well with the chances they've got, and they're only going to have to continue to perform as we go along.
Yeah, you mentioned Tim Thomas, number 18, true freshman from Texas. We've seen him getting in there a little bit more as well. Seems like a good player. Give us a little bit of his backstory. What should we know about Thomas?
Yeah, he was a guy we came upon about this time last year. He was a track guy. Had played football, but he was more of a track guy as a freshman and a sophomore. Had a solid junior year, so he was on the radar, and then a really good senior year. And he was a guy that you could he was playing corner, but he was a bigger corner. Very smart player. So I think there were some things that we saw about this time last year that said, okay, this is a kid physically that's going to look the part. I think, has the intelligence to come in and be able to handle some things. And then I think fall camp happens, and it was a little bit of a slow go. It's just it's maturing, it's figuring things out, it's knowing that it's not all going to happen right away. And there was a time when Tim, spent, on the scout team in the early part of the season, and then he got an opportunity to continue to make an impression. And he's done that, and here he is. He's played in 4. Our intention is to continue to play him. I hope that's a role for him that he can continue to, bite off more each week because he is a talented young man, a smart young man, and I think he certainly wants to be out there.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Great story there. So that's number 18, Tim Thomas, who we're seeing a little bit more of. I do want to ask you about some of the pro guys as well. Obviously, Ty Okada had the really big game on Monday night. Yeah, absolutely. For the Seahawks, 9 tackles, a sack. A kid who goes from a walk-on to an undrafted free agent now to playing like that. Obviously, Alex Singleton's having good time. Daniel Hardy playing well as well. When you do look at these guys who have gone from here to there, being the league, Are there some common themes in their stories, how they find success and are able to catch on for those NFL teams?
Yeah, just talking about those three, I didn't have the good fortune of coaching Alex, but you hear about his story going up to the Canadian League and excelling there, being a special teams guy with the Eagles, and I don't even know how old Alex is. He had played here quite a bit, and now he's making the most of it, overcoming the injury last year. Daniel wasn't really even a football player; he was more a basketball player. Goes the JUCO route, ends up here, has really the 1 year, my first year here, where he really excelled and jumped onto the scene. Then Ty's story. A guy that absolutely bet on himself. So the common thread amongst all those three is they weren't going to let anybody dictate where their story ended. I think perseverance, really smart players. I know in each one of their cases that's a key component. Incredible workers. Guys that they're going to find a way to get their foot in the door, and they are not going to let up. And speaking specifically of Ty. His emergence now has been, something that, they tell stories about. He's this example within that program in Seattle. I'm certain, he's becoming a little bit of a cult hero. I would guess out there, and it's this relative unknown that just continues to do more and more, and he gets his opportunity to play, and that's okay. Now we got to get the other guy in. Now he's playing, and they still have guys coming back. But it'll be interesting to see how that continues to develop. If he's earned himself regular time, even when the earlier starter comes back. So, they represent our program, those three, exceptionally well. And I think they're guys that our current members can certainly look up to, and at the same time, those three guys come back to Bozeman as much as they can too. So they really value their time here and what this place meant to their journey.
Yeah, which also leads us to Tommy Mulatto, who had obviously gotten released a little while ago by the Saints. Any updates on him? Have you spoken to him recently?
Yeah, I think it didn't work out in New Orleans in part because of the injuries they had and needing to elevate guys to playing time, and he just wasn't quite there yet. I know he's been dealing with some injury challenges at the same time. So I know he's back here in Montana. I think he'll eventually make his way back to Bozeman soon enough, and I'm sure we'll see him around. And I don't think this is the end of his story, but certainly on pause for a little bit right now.
Yeah, it's a long journey, but at the end of the day, really cool to see what some of the guys are doing, and just a nice proof point that you can get there from here. So cool to see that and your perspective on it. All right, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to a couple of our player guests. We've got Rocky Lencioni joining us after this timeout. But first, we're stepping aside from Buffalo Wild Wings. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
The Bobcats are proud to present these preferred local partners as members of Bobcat Built. Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems. Bryant, whatever it takes. Carrier Heating and Air Conditioning. Carrier, turn to the experts. Ace Roofing, building Montana strong, one roof at a time. Rivers Landscaping, crafting superior outdoor spaces. And NW Construction, proud to call Bozeman home. Montana State Athletics encourages our fans to choose these local businesses. They are proud local sponsors and demonstrate what it means to be a Bobcat. We are Bobcat Built.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
Quitting smoking, vaping, or chew isn't easy because nicotine is extremely addictive. Plus, everyone's different. What worked for me may not work for you. That's where Quit Now Montana comes in. And it's free. You get a quit coach and a custom quit plan tailored to you, including free nicotine replacement therapy, patches, gum, or lozenges. Bottom line, Quit Now Montana works. Time to make it work for you. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or go to quitnowmontana.com to get started today. Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services.
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land-grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years it's going to explode, obliterating the earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 9 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
We're back live at Buffalo Wild Wings. Before we talk to Rocky Lanchony, we want to remind you that if you want to do more this game day than cheering for the best team of the Big Sky, your game day and everyday purchases from the MSU bookstore go directly to lowering the cost of course materials for all Montana State students. Support students on and off the field by shopping at the MSU bookstore on campus in the sub, at Bobcat Stadium on game days, and 24/7 online at msubookstore.org. All right, quickly, let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Cat Chat. Are back live at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat. Coming out of the bye week with the Bobcats getting ready to head out to Cal Poly for a 6 p.m. Montana time kickoff. We'll be on the air at 5 p.m. for that. All right, we get to say hello now to another Bozeman Hawk, another tight end from Bozeman High. Yeah, Rocky Lanchony. Rocky, how we doing? How we feeling, man?
Doing great. It's been a fun week. Nice to have the bye week as well, so yeah, feel great.
Did you do anything non-football related during the bye week?
Just kind of a little bit of R&R and just enjoy the time off. Coach Vigen was nice and gave us a full weekend. So
no, that's good. That's good. It's amazing what the world looks like on a Saturday when you're not getting ready for a football game.
That's right. It was weird. Like, it was the first Saturday in almost 2 months that we hadn't played, so it felt kind of unnatural. Did you watch any football or anything, or just kind of hang with the boys? That Broncos game was pretty sweet, so I enjoyed that one.
Okay, I like it. And how's class going? I mean, second year now as a college student. How you settling in the classroom?
It's been a tough balance this year just because now that I'm actually playing and traveling with the team, it's been a little different for me, but I've enjoyed it and just balancing it as best I can.
Yeah. What are you going into? What are you studying?
Studying financial engineering.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. That was what Tommy was doing too.
That's right.
Okay. Following in Malot's academic footsteps.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
Yeah. Kind of gives you a new appreciation for him doing all the work to scout the opponent and figuring out the financial engineering side of it.
Yeah, he's a machine. I'm not really sure how he did it, especially playing QB. So.
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, that's good to hear, and kind of glad you're settling in. We're going to talk some Bobcat football here, but I do want to just go back a little bit to your high school career.
Yeah.
You got to finish on one of the higher notes you can, right? An undefeated season, and the championship year, the Class AA state championship. Now that you're a couple years removed, just how special was that year to you?
Well, yeah, it was an awesome year. We fell short the year prior, so it was fun just for myself and all the guys that we were with. I'm still obviously really good buddies with all those guys, and it was awesome to get that done. And pretty cool way, too, at home. It was a great game.
Yeah. Are there things there that stood out in terms of the glue of that team that you can see here at Montana State in terms of what that, cliche, air quote, championship culture looks like?
Yeah, I think it really starts with the coaching, top to bottom, and just like the investment in the players themselves. And that's something I see super similar between programs. I think I got a lot of respect and love for Coach Wesche, and same for Coach Vigen. And they're really easy guys to follow. And when they lead that way and structure their program the right way, good things happen.
Yeah. Now, you also got to play a bunch of your future teammates as well, different guys who are playing either for Gallatin or other high school teams as well. Thinking back to that 2023 Crosstown game against Gallatin, Grant Vigen would have been the quarterback. You're playing wide receiver and safety. What was it like? Obviously, you guys are teammates now, but what was it like game planning for Grant Vigen when you guys were in high school?
Yeah, it was fun. That was a really good team, and that offense was so explosive, and it was led by Grant. I'm pretty sure I picked him off in that game too, which I should probably mention to him.
but that's fun, and it's cool, like, seeing a different side of Grant now that we're not, enemies or whatever, and we can be friends on the same team.
Yeah. How much do you feel like some of those high school rivalries start to migrate their way into the locker room here at Montana State?
It's kind of less than you'd think. I think it's more, it's like good memories, but something to put to bed, and we kind of just enjoy them, laugh about them, and move on.
Yeah, close the yearbook, put the Letterman jacket in the closet, and go to work.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're here now, which we're all very excited about. But in terms of your recruiting process, obviously you're so close, 2 miles from Bobcat Stadium. But what was your recruiting process like? When did it feel like it really started to take off for you and you're getting a lot of attention?
Yeah, so my first start at receiver would have been my first game my junior year. And we lost to Capital, who went on to win it that year. But I had a pretty big game. And I really didn't have any aspirations before that game, and then they started to sort of roll in. A lot of coaches were calling me. So I kind of took my time with it. I did a couple camps. And just my main goal, and something my dad really stressed to me, was just find someone you want to play for in a culture that will stick around and that you would be proud to be a part of. And so that was a big part of my process, and just taking my time with it. And Coach Vigen was nice and really patient with me.
Yeah. How do you kind of go through that recruiting process and try to sift through, what's real and what's not? What's somebody trying to tell you what you want to hear, and what's somebody telling you something for real that you can believe in?
I think the important part is being able to gauge, their investment in you, and getting a chance to talk to them face to face, in person, and really, you can usually tell if someone's being genuine with you. So I think that's the most important part. And also, there's a little bit of, where you want to live, what you want to study to factor into it. Proximity to home obviously played a big part for me. So
yeah, you weren't trying to get away too quickly.
No, there's too much to offer here.
Yeah, that's very true. So you picked Montana State. You feel like they were telling you the truth. You're here now, but you're making that transition from wide receiver to tight end, which is not an easy one to do. In terms of putting on weight and that sort of thing, what was that process like for you? I feel like it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, that was definitely the biggest sort of pitfall I had, and it took me a little while. I think I came in at 200, 205 pounds, and going into that first fall camp, I was tough, having to block guys like Kenny and Brody and Zach Hunter, all those dudes. So I think it was kind of between last winter and spring ball when I really put on a big chunk of weight, and that really helped me, especially in the blocking game, just being able to sort of keep my feet under me and start moving guys.
Yeah. This is a question I like to ask the linemen, but it's worthy asking you. What's your go-to high caloric meal when you are trying to pack on those pounds? Because if you're going to gain that kind of weight, you got to eat some food. So what were you eating? What was your go-to?
For me, instead of doing big meals, 3 big meals, I'd like to do 5 medium ones.
Okay.
So I'll do kind of a gross, really big shake in the morning.
Yep.
And then I'll do breakfast after we lift or practice or whatever it is. And then obviously lunch, dinner, lots of protein. And then I'll finish the night with another kind of gross shake, just loading calories in it. And that's kind of what worked best for me.
All right, I like it. So you're just eating all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing to be doing, although I'm sure it does get tiring at the end. You also did mention some of the blocking stuff, which is obviously, the schemes at tight end in college at Montana State versus wide receiver in high school.
Yeah.
Sure, it's a big gulf. Bring us inside. Give us maybe something that's real technical that you had to learn, maybe from Coach Walsh or something. But what were some of that real high-level technical stuff you've had to learn in terms of blocking?
Yeah, so for me, obviously I hadn't spent much time on the line of scrimmage. I really didn't block much in high school. I'd kind of just run them off, if anything. So it was really Coach Walsh's fundamentals for me. First step, second step, where you're placing your hands, where your eyes are at, and then just being super kind of keyed into the way your legs are moving. And blocking is all about fighting for space and leverage. And so understanding that more and understanding the way the line was working, the combos, where they were going. What Adam, Julius, those guys are thinking, and just how I can make their life easier.
Yeah. What's it like working with this offensive line, too? It does feel like now that you've got guys in their spot, it's starting to gel. So what are you seeing from them lately?
Totally. I feel like there was some uncertainty during fall camp, and obviously Burke got hurt, so that switched stuff around. But I think top to bottom, just really good chemistry with our guys and good cohesion between Coach Smith and Coach Walsh, and making sure everybody's on the same page and trying to accomplish the same thing.
All right, so you find Montana State, you decide that is where you want to go, you drink enough gross shakes, you figure out how to block, and that does everything to get you finally on the field. And now here we are. You got 3 career touchdowns. You got your first career one at NAU, yep. First one at Bobcat Stadium in the game against Idaho State, and then it turned out to be a multi-score game for you as well. Since we already have 3, which one stands out the most for you right now?
That's tough. I think probably just that first one in Bobcat Stadium was extra special for me. It was a fun game, and my whole family was there, so I think that one probably takes the throne for me right now.
Yeah, well, that one was a nice pass, too, kind of back corner in front of the student section as well. Did you turn and spot maybe some of your family or classmates or anybody after it?
Honestly, I kind of, I feel like in those moments you sort of black out a little bit. I was just enjoying it.
Yeah, that's cool. So is Bobcat Stadium as loud as you thought it would be once you were down on the field and they were cheering for you and not somebody else?
I think it's a little different when you're down there on the field. It's loud when you're in the stands, but when you're down there on the field and everything's, you're in the middle of it all in the bowl, it's nice. It's loud.
All right, well, first of many, I'm sure, coming up, and very, very cool to see. We got Cal Poly coming up on Saturday. Give us something to look for out of this Cal Poly defense on Saturday.
Yeah, they're good. They got, obviously, some stud linebackers and some big guys up front, but I think we're just going to try to stick to what we do with little wrinkles here and there, obviously. Should be a good game.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Off to Cal Poly. Rocky Lanchoni, appreciate the time today, man.
Appreciate you.
All right, we're taking a break. Carson Williams joins us after this. We're live from Buffalo Wild Wings. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
The air was thick with desire as he said those 23 magic words every woman longs to hear. Buffalo Wild Wings Go will give you 10 free boneless wings when you spend $15 or more and use promo code GOBONELESS. Say it again, she begged. He indulged. Buffalo Wild Wings Go will give... Okay, I need a break. This novel's got me sweating and hungry. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
At participating locations for a limited time only when you order in the BWW web or app.
Hey, Bobcat fans. Want to make a real difference in the lives of Montana State student athletes? The Bobcat Collective is your chance to do just that. By joining as a member or becoming a business partner, you're directly supporting our athletes through NIL opportunities, helping them succeed both on and off the field. Whether you're an individual looking to become a member or a business ready to partner with us, every contribution empowers our Bobcats to reach their full potential. Visit BobcatCollective.com to learn more and sign up today. Together, we can elevate our athletes and the entire Bobcat community. Go Cats, go!
Debilitating joint pain can keep you from doing the things you love most. At Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, we take a holistic approach to your orthopedic surgery, combining state-of-the-art orthopedic capabilities with whole health optimization. We'll work with you to identify and address any medical issues prior to your surgery. Our optimized health approach ensures your surgery is just the beginning of a new, pain-free life. Explore more at bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
We focus on youth sports because we truly believe that youth are the foundation of Montana's future. I think nothing improves your mental health and well-being and your physical health and well-being and being outside, active, talking to other people, and socializing in an environment like that. Learning teamwork, learning leadership skills, resiliency. As a company, we're deeply invested in our communities, not just our members.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Bobcats on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Bobcat Pride, powered locally.
No matter how far you may go, there's always one just down the road. Town Pump, who pump it up,
Town of Pump is excited to once again sponsor the Brawl of the Wild Rivalry Series between Montana State and the University of Montana. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions throughout the year at your local Town Pump.
Town Pump, right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
Montana holds some of the greatest hunting in the country, and much of that occurs on private land. Access to private land is a key part of hunting and wildlife management, but that access is at risk with every gate left open, piece of litter left behind, or torn up ag field from someone driving where they weren't allowed. As hunters and guests in Montana, we must do better. Get familiar with Montana's block management program and follow the rules for every block management area you hunt, because we either do better or we'll lose access. It's that simple. It's up to us. Respect access, protect the hunt.
We are back live at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat. Coming out of the bye week, Cal Poly is on deck. We've got a 6 p.m. Montana time kickoff coming up on Saturday as the Bobcats have 2 consecutive road games. All right, I'm Keaton Gillogly, and we are joined now by Carson Williams. Carson, how we doing? How we feeling, man?
Doing good, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to have you up here and get into some Bobcat football. Introduce you a little bit as well out of that cornerback room. But how was the bye week? I'll ask you the same question I asked everybody else. Any non-football related activities you got into this week?
Nah, I stayed at home, played my game like usual.
Yeah.
Watched Cal Poly and studied.
There you go. What games are you playing these days?
Just NCAA. I play Ultimate Team against my little brother Quadnell every day, so that gets real competitive.
Yeah. What's the all-time record at?
I'm probably up like 40 wins right now, but he'll disagree with that once he hears this. So.
And he's definitely going to be hearing this?
Yes, he's watching right now.
Okay, good. You can give him a wave to the YouTube hello there.
I'm winning right now.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. How much support do you have just being from home, from Texas, from the Houston area? How much support you got from home?
I got a lot of support. Really just girls, though. I grew up in an all-girl household. My father passed away in 2020, so it was just me, my mom, and my 2 sisters. So I got a lot of woman support. That's what you need as a male. Without having a father figure, you need more woman support. So I got a lot of family support back home, and I got support from everywhere. I got aunties and uncles in California and grandmas in Washington. So, yeah, I got a lot of support from back home.
Yeah, your sister's older or younger?
Yeah, I'm the baby of the family, so, yeah, they're older than me.
Okay, yeah, that can be a lot with older sisters.
It's annoying, but, you gotta deal with it. So, control the controllables.
Yeah, you mentioned your father. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
I have heard you talk about him, though, in terms of what his football influence on you was. What was that for you?
It was waking up as a 4-year-old in the cold weather while it was raining at 4 in the morning and putting on shoulder pads and getting hit by him and crying to my mom, and my mom was telling him to stop, and he was like, no, and it was just that motivation. It was that just seeing him that he wanted me to play football and he wanted me to really take it serious. And I wasn't even playing corner at first. I was playing receiver my freshman year. He was like, oh, you're soft. You're playing receiver. You need to go play defense. And then when he passed away, I was like, okay, I really need to make that switch. And I started playing corner, and I was like, okay, this is what he wanted me to do, so I'm going to take it more serious. And he got me where I'm at right now. So,
yeah.
When
did it flip for you where, you weren't crying to go home and mom wasn't trying to stop it? In fact, you were waking him up to want to go.
I'm not going to lie. Probably when I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Because I started playing football at like 4 or 3. I was in full pads. And I was like 5, and I was like, yeah, let's go throw the ball. Let's go play high-low. Let's just go run. Let's go do something. Some days it was like, no. And some days I'd cry until he let me go. And it was just, that's when I kind of knew, like, okay, football is going to be my sport.
Yeah, that's awesome. And now you're here going through the high school scene as well down in Houston. And, the Texas high school football is legendary. Everybody knows it's legendary. Give us maybe something that would surprise us in terms of the resources or something you guys did or just how you went about your business in Texas high school football.
Well, most of the stadiums held like 12,000 people. And, I mean, you look at high school stadiums out here with like 400 people max or like 600 people max. Like the smallest stadium in Texas, like that was in my district, held like 8,000 people. And it'll get packed. And, you get like a lot of personal trainers. You get a lot of NFL experience because, I mean, Texas is a big state. So, people end up everywhere. They end up in Texas a lot. So you get NFL coaches. You get previous college coaches. You get actual training in Texas instead of just like coaching. You get like you go in on Sunday and watch film with coaches instead of just having a Sunday off. Like it's like that in Texas, and that's why a lot of Texas recruits make it out and not just go D2, D3. They go D1, FCS, stuff like that.
Yeah. What was going through that, learning how to watch film, being trained? Did that make the transition here at Montana State easier?
Yeah, it made it way easier. Coach Black was always on me about watching film. We actually had study hours on film. So if you weren't watching film, he'd ask you, like, okay, how many hours have you watched film? And if you're aligned, he'd know. So if you weren't watching film, you're going to get called out. So it made it real easy because, I mean, you got to study up here. We didn't have a notebook in high school, so that was kind of a new transition for me, writing those down in meetings. But other than that, it was easy. It wasn't nothing.
Speaking of the meetings here and that sort of thing, one thing we talked with Caden Dowler about a couple of weeks ago was the preparation of the defense and how he felt like it had continued to improve throughout the year. How have you seen your preparation and the team's preparation continue to elevate over the year?
I just feel like we started locking in way more instead of just trying to see what they can't do and what they can do, and actually watching film, breaking down situational football. Breaking down third downs on some days, breaking down red zone on some other days, breaking down first down in the first 15 the days before, just little stuff like that.
Yeah, well, which certainly come out and started to really play itself out on the field, especially for you as well. You got your first career forced fumble in that last game against Idaho State. Yeah, it was the peanut punch. Yeah. Of course, I'm a Bears fan, so Charles Tillman was one of my favorite players growing up. He was the one who came up with that big punch to start knocking it out. But just tell me about that play first and foremost.
A lot of adrenaline on that play.
I think everybody here can see that from you.
Yeah, a lot of adrenaline. I kind of hurt my wrist on that play, but, you can't feel it in the moment. It was crazy doing that at Bobcat Stadium, hearing how loud it was, and running to the sideline, throwing my helmet, all that was just an experience that I've been waiting on, and I can't wait to get more peanut punches. Yeah. Shout out the Bears.
Yeah. And in that moment, too, as you're chasing him down, did you see it like before it happened? Like, you're like, oh, there it is?
I kind of knew he wasn't going to see me coming because Coach Green always emphasizes the punch that you can't see is the punch that knocks you out. So when he wasn't looking at me, I was like, there's no reason why I don't go for the ball here and just go for a normal tackle. And then when I hit the ball out and I seen it come out and Coach Taylor recovered, it was just like black. I didn't see that, yeah.
That's awesome. And just hearing the crowd roar, too. I mean, you mentioned playing in so many big crowds through high school, but now here, how different is it at Montana State in terms of the love, the passion, and the sound at Bobcat Stadium?
You actually got to communicate. You actually got to communicate. No hand signals out here because, I mean, it gets loud, like, especially on third down. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get caught. And, you don't want the crowd going silent on you. So you got to know what you're doing. And I played in big crowds in high school, but it's nothing like – I feel like it's nothing like Bobcat Stadium. It's actual love here. It's actual, like, you feel it. Like, you can hear random people in the stands, let's go, Cats. Like, it's love here. I love that.
Yeah, was that something that was really important to you in your recruiting process?
Yeah, yes, sir. I just want to feel like it was back home. Like, in Texas, it's nothing but football. And up here, I mean, you only got two football teams. So, it's nothing but football up here. So I was like, why not go to another football state?
Yeah. How you settling into the Montana lifestyle? So you've been here about a year and a half now in your second season. Yeah. How you liking Montana in general? Have you had a chance to explore some places?
I love the summer.
Yeah.
But the winter's not my friend. Being from Texas, I do not like the winter here. When it's windy and it's snowing, I'm not a big fan of that. But, yeah, I went to Helena with Dalton Noble, went fishing, caught my first trout, rainbow trout. It was
okay.
10 pounds. It was a big fish. I was proud of myself. Caught like 2 fish that day.
Nice.
That's probably as far as I went. Went to Big Sky for a rodeo. Yellowstone. Yeah, I've been around Montana a little bit.
Yeah.
Not too far, but
hey,
been around.
That's pretty good. I mean, you got a lot of commitments here with class and football. So
yeah.
Big Sky, Yellowstone, and catching, you said 2 trout?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a pretty good checklist to have knocked off here after 2 years at Montana State. So that's good, and that's fun to see. Also just in terms of that cold, is anybody giving you the 411 on how to stay warm for some of these games when it does start to drop?
Yeah, they say use Vaseline, but, I'm starting to – during football, I don't get cold. Like, I'll be outside when it's snowing in shorts and no sleeves just because I want to get used to the weather. And I feel like I got used to it. But when I'm walking around and I'm not running around for 40 minutes, you get real cold. So nobody's really helping me in the cold. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's crazy how much how warm a jacket adrenaline can be when you got that coursing through.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you too, just in terms of the recruiting stuff that we kind of touched on. Same question I asked Rocky. When you were getting a lot of attention, you were trying to make your decisions. How did you sift through what was real and what was fake coming from some coaches out there?
Well, it started off with numbers. That's if a coach tells you he's going to give you a number. That's the first part of bribing that, a coach will give you, and you gotta see through that. You gotta see through a coach telling you everything that you want to hear and telling you the real. Like, I got offer. I actually canceled my official visit to Montana State to go to ULM, and they told me I needed to commit within like 3 days, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So then I actually got another official visit here, and I took that one, and Coach Vigen was like, yeah, you don't have to have your mind made up for another month. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's real love. Like, if this guy is waiting on me and really wants me to have another month to make my mind made up, why would I go somewhere where they're trying to force me to commit rather than coming somewhere where they're actually waiting for me and they want me? And you see what's going on now, so I think I made the right decision.
Yeah, absolutely. And you and a bunch of guys did in that cornerback room. I got to be honest, man, watching you guys work, even in like fall camp and throughout all this, the work you guys are putting in is so impressive. You guys talk so much. You guys are so locked in, and you've taken this thing to a new level. Just tell me about that cornerback room and how tight you guys are.
Well, it really starts with Coach Green. Coach Green really emphasizes brotherhood, and if you're not a close team, if you're not a close position group, you're not going to win. So, it's just little things like going out to eat, like with all the corners. There's only 5 of us. We're really 6, including Marcus, but it's really just 5 of us. And, we always go out to eat. We do little things. So everybody come to somebody's crib watching movies, just little stuff like that. And when you have a low morale in the position group, you're not going to, people aren't going to want to play. People are going to want to leave. But when there's actual love here, nobody's going to want to leave. We all want to stay. We all plan on staying. So just that little stuff right there, it just starts with Coach Green. Coach Green's a real good coach for us, and I feel like him being added to our group was the biggest thing that we needed. He's a real smart guy, and he knows football. So with him knowing football and him giving them the game that he knows to us, it made us even closer. So I just say Coach Green.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we'll definitely get Coach Green on one of the podcasts here soon.
Yes,
in the next couple of weeks for sure. But that's awesome to hear. And I'm sure on behalf of all Bobcat fans, we hope you find a home here in Montana over these last couple of years and beyond. Final thing I got to ask you, man, about this game coming up on Saturday. Another great test. A couple of great wide receivers, a couple of great quarterbacks at Cal Poly. What are we looking for in this matchup on Saturday?
Yeah, they got a good offense. They got good receivers, a good quarterback. But I just feel like if we stick to our plan and our game plan and do what we do every week and go 1-0 and not look past them, we can dominate like we do everybody. So can't not respect our opponent, but I know what we got in that room. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, can't wait. That's coming up on Saturday. Carson Williams, appreciate everything and looking forward to the rest of the year for you, man.
Thank you so much.
All right, Carson Williams, we're taking a break. Coach Vigen rejoins us. We'll get you ready for that game against Cal Poly. We're back after this, live from Buffalo Wild Wings. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
Quitting smoking, vaping, or chew isn't easy because nicotine is extremely addictive. Plus, everyone's different. What worked for me may not work for you. That's where Quit Now Montana comes in. And it's free. You get a quit coach and a custom quit plan tailored to you, including free nicotine replacement therapy, patches, gum, or lozenges. Bottom line, Quit Now Montana works. Time to make it work for you. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or go to quitnowmontana.com to get started today. Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 9 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
The Bobcats are proud to present these preferred local partners as members of Bobcat Belt, Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems, Bryant, whatever it takes, Carrier Heating and Air Conditioning, Carrier, turn to the experts, Ace Roofing, building Montana strong, one roof at a time, Rivers Landscaping, crafting superior outdoor spaces, and NW Construction, proud to call Bozeman home. Montana State Athletics encourages our fans to choose these local businesses. They are proud local sponsors and demonstrate what it means to be a Bobcat. We are Bobcat Belt.
Revelry is your neighborhood eatery, here to serve a wholesome and savory palate that celebrates Montana roots with fresh, locally sourced ingredients. We revel in a natural and energetic habitat that livens any day. We serve Bozeman's best pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and salads in a comfortable environment with 2 amazing patios. We love hosting Bobcats old and new. Check us out at 24 North Tracy or online at revelrymt.com. Go Cats, go!
For more than 25 years, Amy Sayer has provided the highest level of service in the real estate industry in the Gallatin Valley. In conjunction with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Montana Properties, Amy and her team are committed to providing the very best experience for their clients and customers through sound guidance and excellence in service. So if you're thinking of buying or selling or have questions about our current real estate market, call Amy Sayer or visit amysayer.com.
We are back live one final time at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat. Keaton Gillogly alongside head coach Brent Vigen. We remind you that Cat Chat's brought to you in part by the Bobcat Collective. All right, time now to take a look ahead to the next game presented by Vance Thompson Vision. We got a good one coming up on Saturday. It will be a 6 o'clock kickoff against Cal Poly down in Southern California. First time we've gone down there since 2022. They did come up here between that, so haven't been down there too often. But overall, Coach, this is a Cal Poly team that certainly looks like an improved outfit this season.
Yeah, no doubt. You just look at their 3 conference games. You know, a win against Sac State. You know, they really challenged, you know, both Davis and Montana. And here we sit. You know, I think they're a program that has been very intentional about how they've done things over the last several years, and now they're in position to really, you know, to compete on a weekly basis. And they got a bunch of good players that are really playing hard right now, and that's you know, something we're obviously going to have to contend with on Saturday.
Yeah, on that defensive side, those linebackers for them, Olsen, number, I think it's 20, and Mikey D'Amato, who's number 44. Man, watching those guys on tape, they are all over the place in the linebacker spot.
Yeah, and they're never, neither of them come off the field ever either. So they play, you know, super hard. They use them in a lot of different ways. They blitz them. They're the sideline guys. They're coverage guys. And you know, we got to do things to make as hard on them as possible. They do a lot of things to free them up in their scheme. You know, they're 1 and 2 in their tackles on their roster, and you know, we got to be able to neutralize them the best we can, and you know, hopefully our running backs in particular can, you know, make them miss from time to time.
Yep, and not only are they leading their team, but they're leading the Big Sky with over 70 tackles apiece. And on top of that, on the offensive side, they've got some great receivers. Michael Briscoe, number 10, one of the top in the conference.
Yeah, I think 7 touchdowns to this point, 30 catches. You know, can kind of do it all. He's a bigger guy that can run, so they can use him, you know, a lot of different ways. Screen game, the 50-50 ball. You know, he's definitely the top amongst the 4 guys they play. But the other 3 guys are all good too, and you know, they seem to be healthy right now. I know the quarterback piece has been a back and forth deal for them a little bit, but you know, ultimately we're going to know where Briscoe is for sure.
Yeah, Ty Diefenbach and Bo Kelly kind of rotating there. How different are they in their skill sets?
Well, their stature is quite different. Diefenbach is 6'6", and you know, Bo Kelly might be 6 foot. So yeah, the offense operates probably a little bit differently. You know, between the both of them, you know, I think they want to go Diefenbach. He was their starter at the beginning of the year. You know, he's had some really good performances, and you know, last week was his first game back, and he ultimately got replaced. But you know, I know his high has been pretty high so far, and you know, I think we got to be able to do everything we can to make him uncomfortable like any week, and you know, if we can do that, you know, I think we'll like our chances.
All right, we're getting ready to go, and I know everybody's excited for this California weather, but I do feel like sometimes Cal Poly gets a little bit chilly there on the coast.
Yeah, 5 o'clock kick. I think high is in the upper 60s. So, yeah, bring a coat.
Yeah, we'll see how that all goes. All right, that's coming up on Saturday. Looking forward to it. Cats are on the road for the next 2 weeks. Thank you, Carson Williams and Rocky Lanchoni, for joining the show today. Kelly Freeman has been our producer. For head coach Brent Vigen, this is Keaton Gillogly saying so long, and we'll talk again next week. This has been Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.